The bond between a father and his son is often considered the bedrock of any family. Yet within the ancient gilded walls of Buckingham Palace, that foundation hasn't just cracked, it has reportedly imploded. While King Charles III seeks a path of peace and reconciliation, his heir, the Prince of Wales, is reportedly ready for a total and final war to protect the future of the crown. Hello, dear viewers, and thank you for joining us for this deep dive into a crisis that is currently shaking the very foundations of the British monarchy. Before we unpack the explosive details of this royal rift and the scandalous new evidence coming to light, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. Your support allows us to continue bringing you these in-depth reports on the stories that matter most. For months, the public has watched as the royal family attempted to present a united front amidst health battles and transitions. However, behind the scenes, a much darker narrative is unfolding. The relationship between King Charles and Prince William has reached a breaking point, described by palace insiders as an implosion. The catalyst for this internal explosion is none other than the Duke of York, Prince Andrew, and the seemingly endless shadow cast by his former associate, the late Jeffrey Epstein. The warning bells are ringing louder than ever. We are now hearing that the saga involving Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and the Jeffrey Epstein investigation is far from its conclusion. In fact, royal observers and legal experts are warning fans of the monarchy to brace themselves. We are likely looking at a second, or even a third, wave of revelations. This isn't a story that is going away. It is a story that is, in the words of those close to the situation, likely to keep coming. This grim forecast follows the release of a second wave of files and documents that have sent shockwaves through the palace. These files reportedly feature Prince Andrew in positions that are described as deeply compromising. Specifically, reports have surfaced of photographs showing the Duke on his hands and knees. While the reports indicate he was clothed, the context is devastating. He is pictured on top of a young woman. For legal and privacy reasons, the face of the woman in these images has been redacted, but the imagery itself speaks volumes. The files allegedly contain 4 distinct point-of-view shots of this same pose. In some, Andrew is looking directly into the camera lens. In others, his gaze is fixed on the young woman. In one particularly haunting shot, he is looking off into the distance, his hands placed on the woman's abdomen. The clinical description of these photos in legal documents provides a stark, uncomfortable contrast to the royal dignity the family strives to maintain. But the photographs are only one piece of a much larger, more complex puzzle. The latest document dump also included a series of emails that pull back the curtain on the true extent of Andrew's relationship with Epstein, the convicted sex offender and financier. These aren't just casual acquaintanceships being described. These are deep-seated connections that suggest a level of intimacy and frequency that the Duke has previously attempted to downplay. Furthermore, the reach of this scandal has extended to include Andrew's ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson. Newly released information suggests that the Duchess of York was also more involved in this social circle than previously understood. Emails and records show her discussing nights spent in New York and making active bids to secure jobs for various associates through these high-level and now highly controversial connections. In the midst of this brewing storm, King Charles III finds himself in an incredibly precarious position. Not only is he navigating the early years of his reign, but he is doing so while undergoing treatment for cancer. The emotional and physical toll on the monarch is immense. Royal expert Richard Fitzwilliams, speaking with Fox News Digital, has issued a sobering verdict on how long this fiasco will continue to hang over the king's head. Fitzwilliams was blunt in his assessment, stating, "There is no doubt now that both Andrew and his ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson, were considerably more connected than they had admitted, and there is much more to come." This is perhaps the most frightening sentence for the royal communications team to hear. The phrase, "much more to come," implies a slow-motion car crash that the palace is powerless to stop. The central fear within the palace walls is the inability to be proactive. Because the Epstein files are being released in waves by external legal entities, the royal family is constantly on the defensive. Fitzwilliams noted that this is exactly what the palace has long dreaded. They don't know what the next email will say. They don't know what the next photograph will show. They are essentially waiting for the next blow to land. unable to prepare a defense because they don't know the nature of the next accusation. The expert's warning concluded with a grim reality check. This process of sifting through thousands of images and emails is expected to continue for a considerable time. The situation is not just bad. It is, in his words, going to get worse. This brings us to the heart of the conflict between the king and his heir. Prince William, the Prince of Wales, is reportedly watching this disaster unfold with a mixture of anger and strategic resolve. William's perspective is shaped by his role as the future king. He views the monarchy as a firm that must be protected at all costs, and he sees his uncle, Prince Andrew, as a direct threat to the institution's survival. William's frustration stems from what he perceives as his father's softness toward Andrew. King Charles, known for his sentimental nature and his desire to keep his family together, has been hesitant to completely sever ties with his brother. Whether it's allowing Andrew to stay at Royal Lodge or permitting his presence at family events, Charles appears to be motivated by a sense of familial duty. However, to William, this sentimentality is a luxury the monarchy cannot afford. He understands that every time a new photo or email surfaces, the public's trust in the royal family erodes. He sees the softly approach as a sinking ship that is taking the rest of the family down with it. William is reportedly demanding decisive action, a total removal of Andrew from any semblance of royal life, a permanent solution that ensures the Duke can never again cast a shadow over the crown. Inside the palace, King Charles is facing immense pressure. He is caught between his heart as a brother and his duty as a sovereign. In an attempt to shift the public narrative, there have been reports of the king trying to find fresh talent within the family. This involves elevating other, less controversial members of the royal family to more prominent roles, hoping to distract the media and the public with positive stories of service and duty. But William is not letting his father off the hook. He knows that no amount of fresh talent or ribbon-cutting ceremonies can mask the stench of the Epstein scandal. He is pushing for a complete overhaul of how the Andrew problem is handled. Some insiders suggest that William is now de facto taking control of the family's response to this crisis. He is younger, more attuned to modern public opinion, and significantly less sentimental than his father. William's approach is one of damage control through surgical removal. He believes that for the monarchy to survive the next 50 years, it must be seen as an institution with high moral standards that is willing to purge its own members when they fail to meet those standards. This puts him in direct ideological conflict with Charles, who still hopes for a quiet resolution that preserves some dignity for his brother. The implosion of their relationship is the result of these two irreconcilable worldviews. On one side, a king who wants peace and family unity. On the other, a prince who is ready for a strategic war to save the throne. William understands that the more-to-come warning isn't just a headline, it's a promise of future damage. He knows that with thousands of documents still to be reviewed, the worst is likely yet to be revealed. As we look at the broader implications, it's clear that the Prince of Wales is no longer just the heir-in-waiting. He is actively shaping the policy of the palace. His refusal to let the Andrew situation be brushed under the carpet marks a significant shift in royal power dynamics. He is positioning himself as the leader the monarchy needs to navigate the scandals of the 21st century, even if it means clashing with his own father. The tragedy of this situation is twofold. First, there is the ongoing pain of the victims involved in the Epstein case, whose stories are being relitigated through these file releases. Second, there is the personal toll on a king who is fighting for his health while his family is being pulled apart by a scandal he didn't create but must now manage. The question remains, how much more can the monarchy withstand? If Richard Fitzwilliams is correct and we are only at the beginning of these revelations, the implosion between Charles and William may only be the first of many internal collapses. The firm is at a crossroads, and the path chosen by Prince William, one of cold, hard pragmatism, seems to be the one that will ultimately define the future of the British throne. What are your thoughts on this escalating situation? Do you believe Prince William is right to take a hardline stance against his uncle to protect the monarchy's future? Or do you feel King Charles's more compassionate, family-oriented approach is the better way to handle such a sensitive matter? The contrast between a father's mercy and a son's duty has rarely been so starkly displayed on the world stage. Please share your opinions in the comments section below. We value your insights and look forward to a respectful discussion on this complex topic. Before you go, if you found this report informative, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps us reach more people who are interested in the future of the royal family. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel for more long-form analysis of the stories shaping our world. The story of Prince Andrew, King Charles, and Prince William is far from over. As more files are released and more emails come to light, we will be here to provide you with the latest updates and the context you need to understand what is happening behind the palace gates. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video. Until then, take care.